नमस्ते। नमः सुंदरनाथाय तस्मै हालास्य वासिने चतुष्षष्टि विद्या लीला येनाकारी भुवस्थले श्रीमत् सुंदरनाथस्य देवीं शफरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्ब वनवासिनीं पूतं स्वतः पूततरं ततो यद्गाङ्गं पयः शङ्करमौलिसङ्गात् तत्पातु मातुः प्रणयापराध पादाहतैः पूततमं ततो नः। दूरात् प्रणेमुः कतिचित् वनं तदारात् परे नीपतरून् अपश्यन् विचिक्युरेके तदनुप्रविश्य धन्याः परे तद् ददृशुः च लिङ्गम्. I wanted to point out something that one of the students had mentioned about Jarat Jambuka Vaktra Lagnaihi in the Shloka 60. Sandhyasu Ganair Adrishyaihi Aratrikam Sadhitam Asputam Yat Chakre Jarat Jambuka Vaktra Lagnaihi Jwaladbihi Etat Jwalanaihi Prakasham. Every time during Sandhya Kalam, ईशस्य आरात्रिकं क्रियते नीराजन विधिः क्रियते इति यत् अस्फुटं गणैः अदृश्यैः गणैः क्रियते सिद्धैः सिद्धपुरुषैः गन्धर्वैः भूतगणैः च एवं अन्यैः योगिभिः अदृष्टगोचरं यथा स्यात् तथा ते तत्र आगत्य वनं आगत्य आरात्रिकं kurvanti, right? So that is, they do the nirajana vidhi in a manner that is unknown or unseen by a lot of people, but it is done in a very vyaktam, manifested form by the old jackals which have agni in their mouths. One of them pointed out a reference to me which was an excellent reference in Naganandam. Vaktrodvantaha patanti chamiti shamiti shikhi shikha shranayah ashranayah asmin shivanam iti shranayah, sorry, shikhi shikha shranayah asmin shivanam iti. The same reference is actually there in Malati Madhavam also, where the jackal is called Ulka Mukham. Ulka is Agni Jwala. Shrigalanam Shabdakarana Samaye Ulka Athava Agni Jwala Mukhat Nissarati iti Kavi Samaye Angikritam. Just as how we have things like Chataka Pakshi, which always looks at a megham and waits for the raindrops to come and fall in its mouth. In the same manner, there are a lot of other things also, like Chakora Pakshi. Sudha, it only drinks the Sudha that comes from the moon. Chandra Kiranebhyaha Ya Sudha Nissarati Tameva Sudham Pibati iti Chakoranam tu Kavisamaye Evam Pratha Asti. This is something that has been accepted in the world of the poets. In the same manner, Shirgalaha Ulkamukhaha iti prasiddhaha chet tatra tadapi, it is a Kavisamaya ukti that is accepted in the Kavisamayam, where Shabdakarane, when the jackals howl, probably their mouth is very red and it seems like fire emanates from their mouth. And so people in the forest, there are a lot of jackals roaming around, and it seems as if these jackals are also doing this Aratrikam, Nirajana Vidhi for Sundaralingam. So I just wanted to clarify that. And we finished off with this shloka. Durat pranemuhu katichit vanam tad arat pare nipadruman apashyan, nipatarun apashyan. So, praktana punya yoga vashat phalabedopi bhidyate eva. So, it depends on the punya vasham that people have, what they have done before. And tatra samskara dardhyam katam vartate ityapi drashtavyameva. So, the moment people started hearing about this Kadamba Vana Katha Prasangaha Bahali Babhuva iti Purvasmin Shloke Uktam. So the tales of this Kadamba forest gradually became very big in the Swargalokam, and people wanted to come and see. Now everybody cannot come and see this lingam because Praktana Punya Vashaha, Praktana Punya Yogaha Bhavitavyaha, Purva Janmasu, whatever Punyam they have accumulated, and depending on that, they are going to be able to see it or not. So some people Tatra Swargaloke eva sthitaha santaha kadambavanam kevalam drishtva. Gopura, I gave the example of Gopura Darshanam. Gopura Darshanam eva, they just looked at that vanam and pranayamuhu namaskaram akurvan. And then Katichit, Arat, they came near a little bit closer and saw the trees. Vanam iti samashti rupam, and then individually they were able to see the trees because they came closer. Nipataruna apashyan. Some entered and tried to search. They had that dhairyam, or they were people who were so involved in finding that lingam that they wanted to go inside and try to find it even though it was a forest. Tad anupravishya. Parantu dhanyaha pare eva dadrishuhu. Only certain people who are bhagyavantaha, they were able to see the ishasya darshanam kritam taihi iti. So dhanyah pare tad dadrishuhu lingam. What happened after they saw? Anandajaihi ashruvihi abhyashinchan anarchuhu api akshibireva pullaihi nyavedayanta api nitanta dhautam Atmanam Nitanta dhautam Atmanam Ananda Sudhaplutam te. Anandajair Ashrubir Abhyashinchan Anarchurapyakshibira Eva Pullaihi Nyavedayanta Api Nitanta dhautam Atmanam Ananda Sudhaplutam te. Te iti chetu ye bhagyavantaha lingam drishtavantaha evam anvishya sarvatra, those who had approached that lingam and finally they saw that lingam, the very fortunate few who were able to see it. Te, so te has so much of meaning there. It's called Arthantra Sankramita Vachitani. So this is not only this te from the earlier shloka where you say dhanyaha ke api eva. You will have to take in praktana punya yogaha yesham vartate. Those who have that punya phalam from a lot of janma accumulated from many janmas, those people, which is not mentioned in the shlokas earlier, but you have to take it. That is the dhvani here. So te, those people who saw that lingam, no, they did not expect to find it, one thing, because it is very rare to find this lingam. So they did not have any samagri in their hand. But they wanted to do abhishekam, archana, and nivedanam, naivedyam. All these three are a must for any lingam or any archana, any puja vidhi. These three are a must. So the first thing they did was Anandajaihi Ashrubihi Abhyashinchan. They did an abhisheka using their Ashru, Netra Salilaihi. Netra Salilam Kimartham Agatam? Anandajaihi. Anandat Jayate. Because Cheto Drutatvam. There is a melting of that heart, and immediately there is a Tamil Purichu poi, Abde Anandatila Purichu poi Tana Vella Vardingar. You cannot control those tears. It just automatically flows out. It's like a sattvika bhavam, which is an involuntary action that occurs when you are presented with such a situation. You don't realize that tears are flowing out of your eyes. So Anandajaihi, Anandat Jayante, iti Anandajaihi Ashrubihi. Tears that have come out of happiness or bliss, born out of bliss, they did abhishekam for that lingam, abhyashinchan. And then archana to kartavya. Anarchuhu akshibhireva pullaihi akshibihi. The eyes are equated to flowers. So pullaihi akshibihi, with blossomed eyes. So this is like a lakshana here. So Akshi cannot be Pullam, because itam or you Pullam to Pushpasyaiva Dharmaha, but you attribute it to an eye because there is a samyam between the eye and the sadrishyat. There is a samyam between the eye and a flower. So you say just as how the flower is bloomed, the eye is also bloomed here. But abde அதாவது கண் கொட்டாத பாக்குறது, without even closing your eyes, அனிமிஷ லோச்சனாக தே தம் லிங்கம் அபஷ்யன் யதஹ பஹுகாலாத் அன்விஷ they were searching for this lingam and suddenly they are chanced upon it and they are unable to control themselves, so they want to take in the whole sight. So pullaihi akshibihi, their eyes completely open and fully bloomed. Akshibihi anarchuhu, they did archana with those eyes, not literally taking it out. That Vishnu did it in once, right? When Vishnu was doing an archana to Shiva, he was supposed to do with 100 lotuses. So the last lotus, someone just took it away. I think or yanayo, I'm not sure. I think one elephant did that. So sahatu pankajalochanaha. So he takes out one of his eyes and offers it in the place of a lotus, because it is like a lotus. Vishnu's eye is like a lotus. Atratu pullaihi akshibihi anarchuhu iti chetu tatra lakshanaya eva. It was as if they did an archana with their eyes wide open. And then nivedanam, naivedyam tu kartavyam, athava complete surrender here. So samarpanam. What is the samarpanam that they did? Atmanam, ananda sudha aplutam nitanta dhautam atmanam nyavedayanta. Api, you can take it as kincha further. Apicha ityarthe api iti shabdah tatra at every point you will have to connect it. So api pullaihi akshibihi anarchuhu api kincha further nitanta dhautam they offered their own self atmanameva nyavedayanta, they offered their self along with chittam indriyam, everything else they just gave it to him in complete surrender, because that chittam atma was completely dhautam, clean. It was very clean, devoid of any mala karma mala rahitam. Praktana punyavashat atra agatya they were able to see this lingam. If they were able to completely surrender to the Lord, then it means all their karma malam, the dirt or the impurities that are there because of karma have all gone. So nitanta dhautam atmanam, the atma which is devoid of any of these impurities, and it has been bathed also. You first remove all the malam and then you also have to do abhishekam to the atma, make it clean. Any object that you want to present to the Lord, you have to first purify it, remove all the dirt that is there, and then sanctify it with the jalam, right? Apoposprishya, and then you'll have to offer it to the Lord. Ananda sudha aplutam, atma api atra aplutam asti, aplutam snatam or samskritam with ananda sudha, with the nectar of bliss. So ananda sudhaya aplutam snatam atmanam athava abhishiktam siktam atmanam and nitanta dhautam mrishtam atishayena tatra karma mala rahitam atmanam nyavedayanta, they offered it to the lingam because they didn't have anything else. You'll know why he stresses on this. The next few shlokas are how some people could do it, but some people were searching for certain samagri to offer to the Lord. These are all, this is the Purva Pitika for something that is going to happen at the end of the Sarga. So Ananda Jaihi Ashrubihi Abhyashinchan Anarchuhu, both this Anarchuhu is lit lakara, arch dhatu, lit lakara. So Ananda Jaihi Ashrubihi Abhyashinchan Anarchuhu api akshibireva pullaihi nyavedayantapi nitanta dhautam atmanam ananda sudha plutam. Next one, guhatsu युष्मास्वपि गूढमेतत् रहस्यम् अद्राक्ष्म वयं किल इति अनुश्रवान् केचित् उपालभन्त केचित् विधिं के अपि शिलादसूनम्. Very beautiful picture here. So imagine that vanam, till now nobody knew about it, suddenly the Katha has gone into Swargalogam, and everybody knows about this Kadambavanam, and they wanted to come and visit, so they have come here. So some of them have neared this lingam, and they are standing there in a state of Atma Samarpanam. But at the same time, they are seeing other people also near that lingam. They see who all they see? Anushravaha Vedaha. Vedaha tatra santi. And then Vidhihi, Brahma is there. Shilada Sunu is Nandi. Shiladasya Sunuhu Putraha Nandikeshwaraha Api Tatraiva Asti. So all of these people who are Shivaganas, who are part of Shiva's retinue, they are all there before these people who came here searching for this lingam. So they will naturally feel, they will automatically feel that, no, if you knew it before, why didn't you come and tell us where this was and let us search for this for so long? You could have at least informed us. But the way they are saying it, even if you had kept it hidden, see, we found it. It's a swabhavokti among people, right? Guhatsu yushmasu etat gudham rahasyam vayam adrakshma kila. Yushmasu guhatsu api. Even though you were all keeping it well hidden. Yushmasu Veda, Brahmadi, Shiva Tattva, those who are all trying to, those who all expound the Shiva Tattva Vedas, Brahma, in Linga Puranam or Shiva Mahapuranam, you will find Brahma doing tapas to Shiva and trying to, and explaining about the Parashiva Tattva. So Yushmasu, those who are all great exponents on Shiva Tattvam, Guhatsu api, even though you are trying to hide it, Guhatsu, Satsu, Samvaranam Kurvatsu api, Etat Gudham Rahasyam, this Sundaralinga Rupena, Yat Rahasyam Vartate Kadambavane, Tat Vayam Adrakshma Kila, Vayam Apashyama Kila. We came and saw this, right? Iti Kechit, they taunted the others who were there already. So, iti Kechit, evam brupena, Kechit, some of them who came, they looked at the Vedas and said, Anushravanu upalabhanta. They looked at the Vedas and scolded them or taunted them in this manner. So, Kechit vidhim, some of them looked at Brahma and said this, and yet some others, Ke api, Shilada sunum evam, upalabhanta. They said the same thing to Bhagavan Nandi also. So actually, Shiladaha is a Muni, and this story is there in both Linga Puranam and Shiva Mahapuranam. I think it's also there in Kurma Puranam or Matsya Puranam, one of the other Puranas also. The story of Nandi's birth, Nandikeshwarasya Utpatti Varnane, Shiva himself took the avatara. This is like Sheshavataram. In Shaiva Siddhanta, you have Nandikeshwara as an Amshavatara of Shiva himself. So Shiladaha is a Muni who wanted to have a child, and that child should be Ayonija. That is Stri Sambandham Vina Eva Putram Aichat Saha. And he started doing tapas tapas generally, and Indra was pleased and he came in front of him. First Indra came and he asked, what do you want? He says, Ayonijam Mrityuhinam Putram Ichchami Sattama. So I want a putra who is Ayonija and Mrityuhinam, who should not have any death. But Indra gives a long story. He says, there is nobody like this. Even Brahma tried to ask Shiva. Brahma did tapas, and he also asked Shiva for such a son, but he could not get that varam because Shiva said it's not possible. So don't unnecessarily go through this effort of trying to do tapas and get such a child, because you're not going to get a child in this janma of yours. So he said, I will not be deterred by this, and he again goes and does tapas to Mahadeva, and Shiva comes in front of him, and again to Shiva he says, Bhagavan Deva Devesha Tripurardhana Shankara Ayonijam Mrityuhinam Putram Ichchami Sattama. Hey Devadevesha, you are the destroyer of Tripura. Shankara, I want a son who is Ayonija. Stri sambandham vina eva tatra putram ichhami, mrityuhinam cha putram ichhami, iti saha prarthyamasa. Then Mahadevaha, he becomes very happy. You know why? Because Shilada, he completely becomes very thin. He loses all of his flesh and becomes just skin and bones, and worms start eating him and all that. So he becomes, even in that state, he was continuously doing tapas, and so Shiva becomes very happy with his tapas, and he says, Tava putro bhavishyami Nandi namna tu Ayonijaha. So I will become your son, name me as Nandi, and it will be born without the sambandham of a stri. So Pita bhavishyasi mama pituhu vai jagatam mune. Jagatam pituhu pita tvam bhavishyasi. Jagatam pita Shivaha. So Shiva, who is the father of the entire three worlds, you will, Shilada, who will become the father of the father. That is Shiva himself. So Jagatam pituhu tvam mama pita bhavishyati. Mama pituhu, in the sense, I who am the father of the three worlds, you will become my father. Ityuktva saha, and then when Shilada goes to his do yagam, from that yaga anganam, this child comes out, and he names that child Nandi. And then Nandikeshwara becomes a Shiva devotee, one of the prime Shivaganas. So Shilada Sunu here refers to the Linga Puranam story here. So Guhatsu Yushmaswapi Gudham etat Rahasyam Adrakshma Vayam Kileti Anushravan Kechit Upalabhanta Kechit Vidhim Ke Api Shilada Sunam. So you can imagine that all of these people are there near that lingam. Or you can also say, see, because these people are coming from the Sargaloka, the Vedas could have pointed out that this place exists. So they can also scold the Vedas that are not present literally in the form, in a personified form, or they can just scold it in their mind. Vidhimapi. Vidhi ityukte, it can be Brahma or Lalata Likhita Rekha. We say fate to be Vidhi also. So they can tell the fate also. See, the fate tried not to bring it to that linga, bring that person to this lingam, but despite that, they were able to find this rahasyam, which is the Sundaralingam. Okay, so Kepi Vidhim Kepi Shilada Sunam Shivaganaha Saha. So the primary Shivagana at least could have come and proclaimed that this is where this place is, all of you should come and see. Even he did not announce it to the Sargaloka. So that could also be a reason that they are scolding these people. So Guhatsu Yushmaswapi Gudham etat Rahasyam Adrakshma Vayam Kila iti Anushravan Kechid Upalabhanta Anindan Upalabhanta Kechid Vidhim Ke Api Shilada Sunam. Vagishwaraha Vagbir Apujayanta Dhyanadhvaninaha Hridi Dadhyuhu Enam Bahyarchanamatra Parayanastu Samagralabhat Alabhanta Khedam. Vagishwaraha, those who were great orators. Vacham Ishwaraha, ye Vagminaha, masters of speech. Immediately when they see that lingam, Vagbihi Apujayanta, they worship the linga with great speeches or poetry, stuti. Stutibihi astuvan. So vachobihi astuvan. Dhyana adhvaninaha, those who walk the path of dhyanam. Adhvanina, adhvaninaha ityukte patikaha. There is a specific sutram for this. Adhvanaha yat khau iti. That is Adhvanam Alamgami, one who has a practice of going in that path. Tari Patikaha, one who is a traveler. A seasoned traveler is an Adhvanina. So Dhyane Adhvaninaha or Dhyanasya Adhvaninaha Patikaha, one who are seasoned travelers in the matter of meditation. So those who know how to meditate really well, they See, for us, the moment we close our eyes, everything else in the world will come other than what we have to meditate upon. But there are people who can quickly get into that state of probably nothingness or daiva chintana, dharavahikataya, whatever. So these are all practiced seasoned travelers. They know how to meditate. They know how to get into that zone very quickly. That is an advaninaha. So dhyanasya advaninaha kim kurvanti linga darshanena takshanaadeva hridi dadhyuhu enam enam sundaralingam athava sundaranatham enam ध्यान अध्वनीनाः ध्यान मार्ग परिचिताः ये सन्ति ते हृदये दद्युः ध्यायी धातोः लिट्लकारः अत्र सो समाधि योगेन ध्यानम् अकुर्वन् they immediately went into samadhi and started thinking about this Lord. Okay, now there are others who cannot do all these things. They don't know how to do stuti, nor nor are they practitioners of meditation. All they know is they will bring something or the other, put some flowers, archana, abhishekam, ityadikam. So, bahya archana matra parayana. Bahya puja, bahya archana matram ityukte eva. Tatraiva parayanaha atyasaktaha. They're completely intent on only doing outward worship. Not everybody can be Visalakshi. In Tamil, there is, I think I have mentioned that Nayanmar in this class also, where he built a temple for Shiva. I like that Nayanmar. So anything which has to do with meditation and thinking about the Lord inside, that's the first Nayanar who comes into my mind. Because he was just sitting on the Tinnemba, in the outside of his courtyard in his gramam. And he was just thinking, everybody thought he was a unmattaha saha. So they used to ignore him. But he was the greatest Shiva Bhakta because he was building an entire temple inside his mind. And Shiva decided to come there for that Kumbhabhishekam. He refused to go to the king's temple, which was being built physically. So more than the physical meditation, it requires the mind to be connected there. So that is the idea here. But there are also other people who want to do Bahya Archana, who do not have that Punya Vishesha to immediately go into Dhyanam. We need the external things to grasp onto, otherwise we will not be able to proceed into the internal worship here. So Bahya Archana Matra Parayanaha Yeshantu Tatraiva Asaktihi Vartate Bahya Archanayameva Asaktihi Parayanaha Parayanam Param Ayanam Yeshante Parayanaha. Bahya Archana eva param sreshtham ayanam ashrayah. That is their final grasping thing or goal. So they only want to do outward worship. Teshantu just a second. Samagri alabhat kedam alabhanta. So Bahya Archana Parayanaha, those who are intent on doing only outward worship, they became very sad now. Because Samagri Alabhat, Tatra Vanamadhye, Kathantu Pujartham Ghanta, Athava waters, all these things, how would they get these Samagri, the materials to do the puja or archana? Because they did not get any of these things. Khedam Alabhanta, they became very sad. So Vagishwaraha Vagbira Pujayanta Dhyana Advaninaha Hridi Dadyurenam Pahyarchana Matra Parayanastu Samagralabhat Alabhanta Kedam. Alabhat Kedam Alabhanta. Samagri Alabhat, because they did not get any materials, they got only Kedam Dukkam. Abhrapaga Varibhir Abhyashinchan Sudhandasaha Sundaranathalingam Tatra samartha munayo mahisthaha tastambhire kevalam ashrupurna. Again, he shows the difference of people who have the materials with them and those who do not have any of these samagri, puja samagri. Sudhandasaha, sudha andhaha yeshante, andhaha annam. Sudha Amritameva Annam Yeshante Devaha. So devas who have only Amritam as their food, they did Abhishekam to this lingam from Ganga, waters of Ganga. So they can quickly bring that water as they come down, right? Now, once they have found out where this is, they can quickly go up and get that Ganga water and do it here. So Abhra Apaga Varivihi Sudhandasaha Sundaranatha Lingam Abhyashinchan Abhishekam Akurvan. They did an Abhisheka with the Varibihi, with waters of Abhra Apaga. Abhram Akasham. Akashasya Apaga Nadi. Apaga Akasha Nadi ityukte Ganga. So Gangayaha Varibihi Atra Abhishekam Kurvan. Kasya Sundaranatha Lingasya Abhishekam Akurvan. So Sundaranatha Sayeva Atra Linga Rupena Vidyate Kadambavana Mule. So one who is in the form of a linga at the foot of a kadamba tree, for that lingam, these devas, they brought water with them. In the north, it's a very common practice to take one small kalasham, with the kalasham of water and go every day to a temple and just pour and come back. So that is a very normal thing that you see, but not here. In the south, we are not supposed to go and directly do the Abhishekam for the lingam. That is not a practice that is here in the south, but it is very common in the north, I have seen, North India. So the devas who came, they came with their own small pots of water, in which there was Ganga water in that. Abhra Apaga Varivihi Abhyashinchan, they poured it on that lingam and did Abhishekam for Sundaranatha lingam. But the Mahisthaha, Bhumau ye tishtanti munayaha, Mahisthaha Mahyam tishtanti iti, Bhumi bhavaha, Munayaha, Rishayaha, Tatra asamarthaha, Tatra tasmin vishaye. Kasmin vishaye? Ganga jala sechana vishaye. Ganga jalaihi yaha abhishekaha kritaha devaihi tadrisha vishaye, in the matter of getting waters from Ganga and doing some abhishekam or even some river, because there was no river in that forest near this lingam. So they were asamarthaha, incapable in this matter, and they just merely stood there, transfixed. Tastambhire, stambha. Dhatoho, again lit lakara here, stabdaha babuvuhu. They were just transfixed like that and petrified. They did not move at all, but their eyes were just filled with water. Completely. Ashrupurnaha. So, kevalam ashrupurnaha, ashrubihi asra akula netraha te, kevalam tastambire. They only stood there like a statue, na kimapi akurvan. They did not do anything. Kevalam tatra, kevalam ityukte eva. Tastambire eva. They just stood there, whereas they did not move or go closer. Their eyes were just filled with water, and they could not pour it on him also, right, at that point. So they were just waiting there to do what they did not know what to do there, because they did not have any water source to come and do Abhishekam for the Lord. So Abhrapaga Varibihi Sudhandasaha Sundaranatha Lingam, Abhrapaga Varibhir Abhyashinchan Sudhandasaha Sundaranatha Lingam Tatra Samarthaha Munayo Mahisthaha Tastambire Kevalam Ashrupurnaha. Alakshya Puja Vyavasayam Esham Apam Abhavat Paramcha Khedam Dinanukampa Nidhihi Indu Maulihi Divyam Saraha Tatra Vidhatum Aichate. So Indu Maulihi Induhu Maulavyasya Chandrasekharaha Shivaha, he's looked at the plight of all these people who did not have any methods to do their puja because of the absence of water. So apam abhavat. Now we know, even though there was a description of Tamraparni river before, that Tamraparni river does not flow close to this Kadambavanam, where they could just go to that river and bring water for this lingam. It must have been a huge forest, and maybe in the outskirts of that forest you had this Tamraparni river. And as you go inside, go searching for this lingam, and when you come to that lingam, you're unable to find your way back probably to the river, which is a few miles away, many miles away actually. If you look at the map as to where Madurai is and where Tamraparni is, there is no connection there. There's a huge distance between the two. So they probably don't have any source of water within this forest. So apam abhavat param khedam puja vyavasayam cha esham alakshya. Esham tatra samagatanam jananam muninam cha. Tesham puja vyavasayam, puja yatnam, their efforts to do worship. So pujayam tesham yatnam ta acha alakshya, after seeing their efforts in to do worship and their sorrow, khedam cha alakshya, after seeing their sorrow also. Why did they have sorrow? Apam abhavat param khedam cha alakshya, after seeing their great sorrow because of the absence of water. Dina bandhuhu saha dina anukampa nidhihi, dineshu anukampa, dina anukampa, daya. One who shows sorrow, one who shows compassion for the dina, distressed people who are pitiable, okay, or who are in a difficulty. So dineshu daya anukampa, dayayaha nidhihi sampadrupaha eshaha bhagavan. So he is like a repository of this compassion towards very poor people or distressed people. So dina anukampa nidhihi eshaha indamaulihi shivaha, he decided to make a great lake in that place. So tatra divyam saraha vidhatum aichat, nirmatum aichat. So he wanted to create a great lake in that place. Now this reference here is from Halasya Mahatmyam, which is a part of Skanda Puranam. All these Gananathas who came there to worship this Sundranatha Lingam, Tadanim Gananathascha Prarthayanti Sma Shankaram. They asked Shankara, Shiva, Jivan Mukti Pureshana, Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala, Pashya Pashya Mahalingam, Abhisheka Vivarjitam. Look at this Mahalingam which is devoid of any Abhisheka. Jivan Mukti Pureshana. Jivan Mukti Pura Ishana. Jivan Mukti Puram is Halasya Puram, is another name for Halasya Puram, which is Madurai. It is also called Jivan Mukti Puram, where people can get mukti when they are alive. So Jivan Mukti Pura Ishana. Ishana Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala. Look at your lingam which is devoid of any abhishekam. Asmakam ichcha mahati sanjata snana karmani. We have a great desire to do snanam. Mahalinga abhishekaya snanaya cha sharirinam kuru sadhyaha punyatamam tirtham bhoga apavargadam. So immediately, why don't you make a great tirtham, punyasthalam, or a lake here for us to do abhishekam for the lingam and for us to do snanam also. So that snana shuddhi, snanena shuddhi bhutva tadanantaram mahalingasya abhishekam kartum api samarthaha babuva. So we can become capable of doing abhishekam for this mahalingam. So make us a great tirtham here in this place. So alakshya puja vyavasayam tesham apam abhavat param khedam dinanukampanidhi indumaulihi divyam saraha tatra vidhatum aichat. He decided to make one great this thing lake there. I'll stop with this shloka. We'll continue with the rest in the next two classes. I just want to make an announcement before you all ask questions. So we will probably finish this in another 2 or maximum 3 classes by June. As usual, at the end of a course, we will have an assessment, but this time it will not be a multiple choice questions or anything of that sort. You can have an open book question exam. We will give a lot longer time frame for you to attempt the questions. There will be about 5 or 6 questions out of which you can answer, say 4. This will only be as a descriptive questions, like say Sundarlinga Natham Varnayata, or try to pick out any alankaras that you see in this text and write. So you can write it either in English or in Sanskritam, whichever is convenient for you. and try to attempt this so that it's an opportunity for you to go through the entire Sarga again, and it'll be good to read the shlokas again. So this is not any specific questions that I'll be asking. It will just be a description of Tamraparni or a description of Kadambavanam, to express a way to express your creativity or how you understand the Sargam as such. So it will not be a very in detail question paper. So you don't need to worry about it. That is one announcement. And then we will have a week's break. After that, we will resume the third Sarga after a week's break. Okay. So now, any questions? You can raise your hand. Namaste, Mahodaya. You can unmute yourself and ask. Arun Kumar Mahodaya, I see your hand raised.
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes. Chalo.
இந்த முதல் ரெண்டு சர்க்கத்துல கவி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா, முதல் சர்க்கத்துல பூக்கவி சூக்கவி பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காரு இல்லைங்களா, டீட்டெயில் அதை பத்தி தான் பேசியிருக்காரு. ரெண்டாவது சர்க்க ஆரம்பத்துல மதுரைக்கு வந்திருக்காரு. மதுரையில மலையாச்சல பர்வதம், அப்புறம் கந்தாநிலக அதுல ஆரம்பிச்சு அங்க இருக்கிற கந்தாநிலா அந்த கதம்பவனத்துக்குள்ள வந்து என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணுதுன்னு பேசியிருக்காரு. அப்புறம் கதம்பவன விருட்சம் எப்படி இருக்கு, எவ்வளவு உயரமா இருக்கு, அது வர்ணனை பத்தி பேசியிருக்காரு. அதுக்கு அப்புறமா சிவன் எப்படி அந்த கதம்பவனத்துக்கு வந்து ஒளிஞ்சிட்டாருன்னு பேசியிருக்காரு. ஆனா சிவன் வரதுக்கு முன்னாடியே பார்வதி அங்க வந்து இருக்காங்க. அவங்க இருக்கும் போது அங்க இருக்கிற மரங்கள்லாம் எப்படி ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணுதுன்னு பேசியிருக்காரு. இப்போ சிவனை எப்படி எல்லாம் எல்லா தேவர்களும் முனிவர்களும் ரிஷிகளும் மனிதர்களும் தேடினாங்க, பார்த்தவங்க என்ன பண்ணினாங்க, பார்க்காதவங்க என்ன பண்ணினாங்கன்னு பேசிட்டு இருக்காரு இல்லைங்களா மேடம்?
எஸ்.
இந்த ரெண்டு சிறப்பு இப்போதைக்குள்ளதான் வந்திருக்கு.
சூப்பர், கரெக்ட். நல்ல ஒரு நட்ஷெல்ல நீங்க கொடுத்துட்டு கரெக்ட்.
அதே மாதிரி சில வேர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அமர கோஷாலே இல்லையா, உல்கா முகம், நந்தியோட இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன சொன்னீங்க, அதெல்லாம் அமர கோஷாலே இல்ல, வேற எங்கேயாவது இப்படி படிச்சுதான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணுமா அந்த வேர்ட்ஸ்?
ஆமா, there is no other choice. இப்போ எனக்கே if I look at the dictionary, I couldn't find any words like that. இப்போ even ulka mukha is given as a ghost னு போட்டிருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. அதாவது இந்த தமிழ்ல நம்ம கொள்ளிவா பிசாசுங்கிறோம் இல்லையோ, and that is what is ulka mukhamங்கா. கொள்ளி அந்த நெருப்பு வாயில வச்சுட்டு அது அப்படியே போறது கொள்ளுவா பிசாசுன்னு சொல்றது உண்டு. சோ அத வந்து உல்கா முகம்ங்கிறா. பட் there is another thing that and the jackals, when they open their mouth, it is very reddish in color. This is what Kale gives in his explanation. And then Malati Madhavathukku there is a Vyakhyanam, and in that he says ulka mukha could be a Shrigala, could be a jackal அப்படின்னு அவர் மென்ஷன் பண்ணிருக்கிறத தான் நான் வந்து சொன்னேன். எனக்கு அந்த க்ளூவே வந்து அந்த குழந்தை ஒருத்தி லாஸ்ட் டைம் she said that it's very good clue that she gave me. Otherwise I did not know. Until then I was just looking through whatever I knew. எனக்கு it didn't even strike that I should look at something which is connected with symmetry, அதாவது அந்த ஸ்மசானம். So Malati Madhavam and Nagananda are two works which has a lot of descriptions of Smashanam and all that. So it didn't strike me until that girl pointed out, and is a very nice clue. I wanted to thank her. Appuram Shilada Sunu is not there in the dictionaries also. I did not see it. Puranam padichadan theriyum. You will have to go through some Puranas to find out. So yes, it is a tough thing to find out certain words. Although it's mainly, I think he uses a lot of words, parakathila irukra words. Adudhan what he has read. He must have read so many texts, that's why he has this vocabulary with him. Adudanga, that amazes me. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. We'll meet next week. Namaste.